Hello everyone, this is Nicholas McNeil. I'm going to be talking about Edwin Hubble as my Work of a Scientist project. Now, Edwin Powell Hubble was born 1920 November 20th in 1889 to Virginia Lee Hubble and John Powell Hubble, who worked in the insurance industry. He was born in Marshfield, Missouri, but he moved in 1898 to Chicago, Illinois. Hubble is known for his advancements in astronomy. However, he wasn't able to pursue his passion until late in life. Hubble was actually known for his athletic prowess rather than his intellectual abilities growing up. He was a gifted athlete. He even received a scholarship from the University of Chicago, and he led their basketball team to their first conference title while he was there. Hubble originally studied the philosophy of law under his father's urging. After going to the University of Chicago, he moved to the University of Oxford, where he received his degree in jurisprudence, again, the study of law. Unfortunately, Hubble's father died around this time, so he returned to the United States and began work as a teacher for physics and math in Indiana. Hubble did decide at this point to follow his passion, so he returned to the University of Chicago to complete his graduate studies. His first major position in the field of astronomy was at the Yerkes Observatory in Wisconsin. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get very far in his observations due to the breakout of World War I. He was later invited by George Ellery Hale to work at the Mount Wilson Observatory in California, which he was able to accept after returning from World War I. The Mount Wilson Observatory and the Hooker telescope is what he used to complete most of his more famous works. In 1929, that was his first publication and also the biggest breakthrough for his studies in astronomy. He concluded that there is a linear redshift distance relationship when observing galaxies. This was especially important because it redefined how scientists, astronomers, and cosmologists thought about the universe, and it proved the ever-expanding universe theory. So that was a major breakthrough for Edwin Hubble. He later on compiled his research in his book, The Realm of the Nebulae, in 1936. This was the not the last, but the largest, or the biggest, most important of his publications. He did little work after this. Possibly the most significant portion of that is the Hubble sequence that he came up with to classify galaxies, which is still used to classify galaxies by astronomers today. Hubble, as far as Hubble's work, he faced surprisingly few setbacks in terms of acceptance to his ideas. It did take 2 years to publish his work and get the scientific community to accept it, but that was just through regular processes. His main impediments to his career were his duties to family and country, because his father originally didn't want him to pursue a career in astronomy, of course. And when he finally did decide to get his degree and work at an observatory, he was interrupted by World War I. Luckily, he was able to finish his work in 1936 and publish it in the realm of the nebulae before World War II rolled around. Hubble did make a few breakthroughs or contributions after World War II. He actually received the Medal of Merit in 1946. He died in 1953 of a stroke. In terms of his legacy, you've probably heard of the Hubble telescope built by NASA and launched in 1990. The picture on the left here is just a picture of the Sagittarius cluster through the Hubble telescope. It was named in honor of his contributions by NASA. In terms of how this information is related to science and teaching, the main idea that Hubble came up with about the ever-expanding universe is especially prevalent in the study of physical sciences and astronomy. So that's like one of the core concepts of our understanding of the universe. His contributions in terms of Doppler shift for observing galaxies was a major breakthrough in how we observe stars, nebulae. That isn't until mostly you get until college. As far as NGSS standards, Hubble's work was mainly about our understanding of the Big Bang theory and just extraneous information like that.